This is a report on one of the most publicized penetrations of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in this decade. The Kasai covers 2 provinces in the African country of Zaire. Zaire is the old Belgian Congo, a country that sprawls for nearly 1 million square miles across Africa's equatorial heartland, a land larger than all the states east of the Mississippi River. In the late 1950s, winds of freedom buffeted all Africa at gale force. In 1960, Belgium suddenly released claim on the Congo territory. A decade later, the government took up the cry of authenticity. It urged the revival of African culture. The nation was renamed. It was no longer the Congo, it was Zaire. Leaders dropped all Christian names for African names, and the 21 million people were ordered to do the same. The Kasai, in the south-central part of the country, is a vast expanse of rolling savanna. Some areas are uniquely patterned with trees. Others have great distances of trackless wilderness. It is beautiful country and precious because it harbors the world's greatest source of industrial diamonds. Remote villages teem with the energy of adolescence, children confined to a world of tribal customs, witchcraft, and spirits. It was not until 1949 that the first Seventh-day Adventist mission station was opened in the Kasai at Lulangele. Sabbath school members around the world contributed toward an overflow offering to build a maternity hospital, dispensary, and mission office. Lulangele was a lonesome venture. The little mission post was 50 miles from the nearest town. Roads were extremely difficult. There was no mission plane. But the pioneer workers bore hope of penetrating with a Sabbath message. A church was built. 12 years passed. Only 150 persons had been baptized when tribal conflicts forced abandonment of mission operations in 1961. The members and mission property were entrusted to a national worker. Pastor Chia says he conducted services every Sabbath. The members came. They witnessed. And in the next 11 years, another 100 persons became Sabbath keepers. In 1971, shackles of religious restraint closed on hundreds of Christian churches throughout all Zaire. Overnight, independent Christian or Bible-based groups were outlawed. The Seventh-day Adventist Church faced a grim decision. Ministers were threatened with jail terms for meeting with their congregations. With mixed feelings, action was taken, March 24, 1972, to align with a Protestant umbrella organization being allowed to function. Within a short time, the Adventist press announced an exciting breakthrough in the Kasai area of Zaire. Leaders of thousands of homeless Christians were being directed to the Seventh-day Adventist offices in Lubumbashi. To meet the overwhelming challenge in the Kasai, Lulangele Mission was reopened. An airstrip, a mission plane, and additional buildings were provided. Denominational leaders determined top priority should be given to setting up an indoctrination and training program for leaders of the interested church groups. It started in a small way in 1974. By early 1978, 40 men were nearing completion of an intensive study and training program.
We have hundreds and we have thousands, we can say, who are preparing for baptism. We have set some goals of what we would like to do and like to baptize. Some districts 100, some districts 150, some districts 200, but we cannot do it in our own strength.
Gordon Elstrom, the mission director, challenged the men to the work ahead of them. Some had been leaders of other Christian denominations.
I was a Presbyterian. I was Catholic. I was Kimbangist. I was Mennonite. I was Sabbatic. I was Saint Emmanuel. I was Anima. I was Trinity.
Organization and implementation of such a far-reaching program taxes the abilities and energies of those directing the work at Lulangeli.
Didi kalamo Petero wakumujilo chapter muibiji verse muisambombo. Donc tout bons.
The plan of assigning these men to village districts as part of their training is being rewarded with real success. Those who had been leaders of other groups are teaching Bible truths to their followers. Some of the men have set up clinics to win the confidence of the villagers. Thousands hold to strange superstitions. They believe evil spirits cause sickness and death. As they learn the gospel songs and hear the Bible stories, it becomes an hour of decision. For only a short distance away, drums beat out a hip dance. They are calling the villagers to spirit worship. Interest and sincerity of the people in the gospel is inspiring. Potential growth for the Adventist Church in the Kasai mounts into tens of thousands. Even during the past 5 years, which had been designated as a time to establish the program at Lulangeli and train new workers, the Kasai membership has grown from 250 in 1972 to over 11,000 at the close of 1977. Robert Dick, evangelism instructor, says when the pastor trainees go out for their field experience, they pedal bicycles with heavy packs over paths that are nearly impassable. Dick says he has made long, treacherous trips into remote areas to baptize their converts. In 1976, ministerial students started weekend meetings a few kilometers from Lulangeli. A talking drum echoed a call to the people. The villagers had no contact with Lulangeli. In fact, none of them had ever heard of Seventh-day Adventists, but they began to attend the meetings. December 31, 1977, a church of 98 members was organized at Boa Kasamba. Katumbai was born in the Kasai. At age 22, he was buying and selling diamonds. One day, a man gave him a book. Soon, Katumbai joined a small Seventh-day Adventist church. Then he attended Nanga Ibuko Seminary in the Cameroon. In 1974, Katumbai returned and took up pastoral work in the Kasai. By motorbike, he pioneered the way in remote areas of the equatorial forest. In 2 years, he was responsible for 547 baptisms and had the honor of baptizing the 10,000th member in his homeland. The bookwork is taking strong hold. Already 10 colporteurs look to Lulangeli to furnish printed materials. At the mission, books are being translated into several different languages of the people. Church presses in Malawi and Cameroon print the translations. Because 3,000 of the 11,000 members of the Kasai live in the area surrounding Lulangeli, the mission has opened a church school which operates a very significant program. Clapping in rhythm, the primary children spend their recesses playing native games. Through Mission Spotlight, The 160 students in grades 1 to 6 send a special song from their school to Sabbath school members. Primary classes are taught mornings. Afternoons, the school program is scheduled to accommodate the upper grades. Most of the people around the mission station depend on clothing shipped from friends in Germany and the United States. Wives of the few mission workers inventory the clothing, maintain records, and carefully dispense each article. The little clinic, built in 1949, has reopened. The continuous flow of patients is handled by Inga Gay, a registered nurse, mother, and wife of one of the mission leaders. Alfred Matter is a second-generation missionary in Africa. He says the work to be done to give direction to the interest of the church in the Kasai far exceeds the small task force based at Lulangele Mission. Henry Little, a volunteer worker from Reading, Pennsylvania, says, "I heard they needed help here, so my wife and I came for a couple of years. I've built some houses and do maintenance. She helps with the clothing for the people." 3 student missionaries have also come to help with the work. These boys represent Helderberg College in South Africa, Andrews University, and Southwestern Union College. Transportation for carrying the gospel to the Kasai includes a few bicycles, 14 motorbikes, a single-engine Cessna, 2 Land Rovers, and a van. The only other communication is the shortwave radio contact made each morning at 6:30 between the Zaire Union, 500 miles to the southeast, and the seminary and mission 500 miles to the northeast.
Roger, question from East Zaire Field about their nurse. Go ahead, over.
The story of the Kasai, despite all handicaps, is good. For today, little children at Lulangele are singing. Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world, brown and yellow, black and white. All are precious in his sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. This is a Mission Spotlight report.